All right, let's jump into a topic that I think a lot of people have strong feelings about, but maybe haven't thought about too deeply.
Okay.
And that is wedding dress sizing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So whether you are a bride-to-be or you're just fascinated by the hidden quirks of the fashion industry, or maybe you're having a friend who's going through this process,
Right.
this deep dive is going to give you some insider knowledge.
I think it's a great topic
Yeah.
because it really gets into so many different things like body image and industry standards and,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
expectations. And
Yeah,
it can be a lot for brides
totally.
you know.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to unpack all of this
Okay.
using some really cool sources, including insights from a bridal shop in Pennsylvania called Darianna Bridal and Tuxedo.
Oh, wow.
They're known for their commitment to size inclusivity.
Okay.
And we're going to get into what makes their approach so unique.
Yeah.
But first, let's just talk about the elephant in the room,
Okay.
bridal sizing itself.
It's so interesting because it's almost like bridal sizing exists in its own universe. Yeah. Completely separate from
Totally.
sizes we see in everyday clothes.
Totally. And it's not just that bridal sizes run large, which is already confusing enough, but our sources point out that different designers use their own sizing scales.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like how a size 8 shoe
Oh, right.
from one brand can fit totally differently
Yeah.
from a size 8 in another brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it gets even trickier than that because we're not just talking about slight variations.
Okay.
The way that a garment is constructed for bridal,
Okay.
like all the boning and the layers and the way it's designed to cinch your flow,
Oh, yeah?
that plays a role in how a size translates from the tag to your body.
Yeah, like how is a bride supposed to shop confidently when sizes are this inconsistent?
Right.
It's nerve-wracking enough as it is.
Exactly. And that's where understanding these little nuances becomes really important. So, for example, let's say you're trying on a ball gown.
Okay.
The sample size might fit your bodice when it's clipped in,
Okay.
but then the skirt volume is going to be totally different once it's tailored to your actual size.
Oh, that makes sense because the proportions would change
Exactly.
depending on the size.
Yes.
So even if you love that dramatic princess-worthy skirt,
Yeah.
it's not going to have the same effect
Right.
in a smaller size.
Exactly. And it's not just ball gowns. Think about a mermaid silhouette,
Oh, yeah.
which is all about hugging the curves.
Yeah.
A larger sample size may not actually reflect how that dress is going to contour to your body in your true size.
Yeah, so it's not just about finding a dress that zips up.
Right.
It's about understanding how the style and the proportions
That's right.
translate across sizes.
And this is something that Darianna Bridal really emphasizes.
Okay.
They actually talk about how the lack of inclusive sample sizes can be deeply discouraging for
Yeah.
brides,
Probably.
especially those who maybe fall outside of that average range.
Yeah, and it's not just about offering a wide range of sizes, on paper.
Right.
It's about actually having those sizes
Yes.
to try on in the store.
Yeah. Imagine walking into a bridal salon and it's supposed to be this experience that's all about
Right.
you feeling special and beautiful and,
Yes.
you can't even try on a dress
Right.
in your size.
Yeah. And
That's
that's awful.
incredibly disheartening.
Yeah. And it makes brides feel like
Yeah.
their bodies are wrong
Yeah.
or less than.
It's supposed to be a joyful experience,
Yeah.
not one that makes you question yourself.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Dariana's approach really is refreshing.
Yes, it is.
They've been very vocal about the need for size inclusivity in the bridal industry.
Yeah.
And they've taken steps to make their shop a welcoming space
Yeah.
for brides of all sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's get into what they're doing
Okay.
because I'm so curious to hear about this.
Well, for starters, they carry a really impressive range of sizes. They have in store from a size 2 to a size 32.
Wow.
But what's really remarkable is that they also offer special orders for sizes 0 to 32.
That's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
Like they're really invested in serving a diverse clientele.
It goes beyond that, though.
Okay.
They have over 60 plus-size sample gowns
Wow.
for brides to try on.
Okay, that's impressive.
So this allows brides to actually get a sense of how a dress will look and
Yes.
feel on their body instead of just having to imagine it
Okay.
based on a smaller sample size.
I mean, most bridal shops have very limited
Yes.
plus-size samples, if any at all.
And they did this even before it was like a
Really?
trend in the industry.
Wow.
They saw a need that
Yeah.
wasn't being met, and they decided to,
Yeah.
invest in that.
That's amazing. They're really walking the walk.
Yeah.
It's one thing to talk about inclusivity,
Right.
but it's another thing to like actually invest in it, especially when it goes against the grain
Exactly.
of what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. And there's another detail I thought was really interesting.
Okay.
They don't charge extra for dresses
Okay.
in sizes 18 and up.
Seriously, why is that even a thing?
You know, unfortunately, it's a practice that reflects a deeper issue in the fashion industry.
Totally.
It kind of perpetuates this idea
Yeah.
that there's this standard size that deserves preferential treatment,
Right.
while other sizes are somehow outside the norm.
Yeah.
And so you have to pay.
It's like you have to pay a penalty for not fitting into a certain mold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Darianna is challenging that.
I love that.
But, refusing to participate in that practice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. They believe that every bride deserves to feel beautiful
Yeah.
and valued regardless of her size.
I love that.
And they've actually noticed some interesting things about like what sells in their shop.
Okay.
So sizes 2 to 6 and 28 to 32 tend to sell out the fastest,
Okay.
along with long sleeve dresses.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, gives us a glimpse into what brides are actually looking for.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize, like, shops really have to stay attuned to
Right.
their customers' needs.
Exactly.
Before we move on, I want to touch on something you mentioned earlier,
Okay.
which is the emotional aspect of all of this.
Yeah.
Finding a wedding dress is about so much more
It is.
than the garment itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's about feeling beautiful and confident
Yes.
on one of the most important days of your life.
And when you add to that the complexities of bridal sizing and, the potential of feeling excluded or judged
Yeah.
and the pressure to conform to beauty standards,
Totally.
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's no wonder that some brides can feel really overwhelmed by this process.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you're not just buying a dress, you're buying into this whole
Yeah.
cultural narrative
Totally.
about what a bride should look like.
Yeah.
And if you don't see yourself reflected in that narrative, it's just so disempowering.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to remember that your worth as a bride, as a person, is not defined by your dress size.
Yes.
You are beautiful just the way you are.
Love it.
You deserve to feel confident and radiant in a dress that reflects your unique style and personality.
Yes, I love that so much. And we're going to continue talking about this more in part 2.
That's good.
So stay tuned.
All right. One of the things that I was thinking about while we were going through these sources is how powerful language is.
Okay.
Like the way we talk about bodies
Right.
and sizes can really have a big impact on a bride's experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen those articles or social media posts that are all about flattering certain body types or hiding flaws. It just makes you feel like you have to conform to this very specific ideal.
Right. And it's almost like we've been conditioned to view some body types as good and some as bad.
Right.
And when you bring that into wedding dress shopping,
Oh my gosh.
it can just make it so much harder.
Totally. So what can brides do to challenge these negative messages
Yeah.
and approach dress shopping with a more positive mindset?
I think it starts with surrounding yourself with a supportive team,
Okay.
whether it's friends, family, or a bridal stylist who really gets you.
Right.
Having people who make you feel confident in your own skin can make a world of difference.
I remember when my sister was shopping for her wedding dress, she had a couple of friends who kept pointing out things that they thought she should hide or minimize.
Oh, God.
And it really got to her.
Yeah.
But her maid of honor was amazing.
Oh, good.
She just kept reminding her
Yeah.
that she was beautiful the way she was.
Yeah.
And that she should choose a dress that made her feel amazing.
Right.
Not one that tried to fit some
Exactly.
arbitrary ideal.
It's about shifting the focus from what you think you should look like to what makes you feel authentically beautiful
I love that.
and confident.
Yeah.
So it's not about the right dress. It's about what feels right for you.
Exactly. And that might mean trying on styles
Yes.
you wouldn't normally consider.
Yeah, you might be surprised by what flatters you
Totally.
and makes you feel amazing.
So it's all about experimentation.
Yes.
Keeping an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to try on different silhouettes, fabric styles.
And this is where a bridal stylist can be really helpful.
Okay, let's talk about stylists.
Okay.
How can brides find one that's a good fit?
Well, I think it's about doing your research
Okay.
and asking the right questions.
Okay.
So before you even book an appointment,
Mm-hmm.
check out the shop's website,
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
Do they showcase a diverse range of brides?
Oh, that's a good point.
Do they talk about inclusivity,
Yeah.
body positivity?
Yeah.
Did the stylists seem approachable?
Right. It's like doing a background check
Exactly.
to make sure their values align with yours.
And then once you've found a shop that seems good,
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
And ask about the stylists. Ask, do they have experience working with brides of all sizes?
Oh, yeah.
What's their approach to helping brides find a dress
Yes.
that makes them feel confident and beautiful?
I love that it's so important to feel comfortable with the person who's guiding you
Yeah.
through this whole process.
It is, because they're going to see you in some vulnerable moments.
Totally. Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you can trust them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you're at the appointment, what then?
Communication is key.
Okay.
Be open with your stylist about your concerns,
Mm-hmm.
preferences, budget.
Okay.
Let them know what you're anxious about,
Right?
what styles you're drawn to,
Yeah.
what parts of your body you want to highlight or downplay.
Sometimes I think brides are hesitant to speak up
Yeah.
because they don't want to seem difficult
Right.
or demanding.
But the more information you give them,
Yeah,
the better they can help you.
exactly. Yeah, it's like anything else.
It is.
The more informed you are, the better decisions you can make.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Totally.
And when it comes to something as personal as wedding dress shopping,
Yeah.
it can be really empowering.
So we've talked about having a supportive team,
Mm-hmm.
finding a stylist who aligns with your values,
Yes.
communicating your needs.
Yeah.
But what about the actual fitting process?
Okay.
Are there any tips for that?
Yeah, one thing that our sources mentioned
Uh-huh.
was to be realistic about alterations.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this misconception
Yeah.
that you can just take any dress and magically transform it
Right.
into something completely different.
It's tempting to fall in love with a dress that's not quite right
Totally.
and think, oh, a seamstress can fix that.
Yes, exactly.
Aren't this
Control it. But alterations are really meant to fine-tune the fit,
Okay.
not completely reshape the dress.
So you can't take like a size 12 ball gown
No.
and turn it into a size 2 mermaid dress.
Right. Like talented seamstresses can work wonders.
Right.
But there are limits to what can be adjusted
Yeah.
without messing up the
Yeah.
design.
So if you're trying on a sample size that's significantly different from your own,
Yes.
you really need to have a realistic conversation with your stylist
Exactly.
about what's possible.
About what can be done
Yeah.
and what's non-negotiable.
Yeah, for example,
Yeah.
if a dress has really intricate beading or lacework,
Right.
you can't make drastic alterations to the bodice.
Yeah, you might ruin it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about finding a dress that's already a pretty good fit
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the overall silhouette
Yeah.
proportions.
It's about enhancing the fit,
yeah.
not forcing a dress into a shape it wasn't designed for.
Okay, so it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
A dress that you love
Mm-hmm.
makes you feel amazing,
Yes.
but also one that can realistically
Right.
be tailored.
And don't forget,
Yeah.
alterations can get expensive.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So factor that into your budget
For
right
sure.
at the beginning.
Okay, so let's recap. We've talked about the power of language,
Yeah.
having a supportive team,
Mm-hmm.
finding a stylist that gets you,
Yes.
communicating your needs,
Yeah.
being realistic about alterations.
I think the theme here is really empowerment.
Yes, I love that.
It's about taking control of your journey
Yes.
and making choices that feel good to you.
Okay, I love it. And stay tuned for part 3, where we'll delve into even deeper insights and inspiring stories from brides who've really navigated the world of wedding dress sizing.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back.
We are.
And in this final part of our deep dive into wedding dress sizing,
Yes.
I think it's time to hear from
Oh,
the real experts,
I like that.
the brides.
The brides themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that's been so inspiring about this whole process
Yeah.
is seeing how brides are really
Yeah.
challenging the status quo,
Yeah.
redefining what it means to find the perfect dress.
Mm-hmm.
They're embracing their bodies, their styles, their
Yeah.
individuality.
It's beautiful.
And they're not letting anyone tell them what they should look like on their big day.
And a lot of these brides are actually sharing their stories online,
Oh, that's great.
offering support to others who might be
Yeah.
feeling discouraged.
Yeah, because sometimes you just need to hear from someone who's been there,
Yeah.
someone who understands the struggle.
Right.
And it can be really validating,
Yes.
especially for brides who maybe haven't seen themselves represented
Mm-hmm.
in traditional bridal media.
Yeah. Or who've been told,
Right.
you have to look a certain way.
Exactly.
And it's like finding a community
Yes.
of people who get it
Yes.
and who celebrate the beauty of diversity.
Okay, so One of the themes that keeps coming up
Yeah.
in these stories
Yes.
is the importance of letting go of perfectionism.
Oh, that's so huge.
I mean, it's so easy to get caught up
It
in
is.
trying to
I mean,
achieve.
the wedding industry kind of thrives on that.
Yes, exactly.
Just picture perfect fantasy. And, you know, it's easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah, like everyone's trying to recreate that perfectly filtered Instagram post
Right.
rather than just focusing on what actually matters.
Right. Like, how do you feel in the dress?
Yeah, how can brides let go of that pressure
Mm-hmm.
to be perfect?
Well, I think it's about shifting your perspective instead of looking for the perfect dress.
Yeah.
You know?
What does that even mean?
Look for a dress that feels right
Okay,
for you,
I love that.
because there is no perfect dress.
Right.
And what matters most is how you feel when you wear it.
Yeah,
Do you feel beautiful?
yeah.
Do you feel confident?
Do you feel like yourself?
You feel like yourself.
Yeah.
Those are the important questions.
Okay, so trust your gut.
Yes.
Choose a dress that makes you happy.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to break the rules.
Oh, I love that.
Like, who says you have to wear white
right.
or a long dress
Or a dress at all.
or a dress? Yeah. If you want to wear a jumpsuit or a pantsuit or a bright colored gown,
Yes.
go for it.
It's your day.
It's your day. You should express yourself.
I love that. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yes.
I want to leave our listeners
Okay.
with a few final thoughts.
You like it?
You are beautiful just the way you are.
Yes.
Do not let anyone tell you otherwise.
You'll love it.
Don't let the fashion industry's narrow standards
Mm,
dictate your worth
it's so true.
or your happiness.
Okay, what else?
Do not be afraid to challenge the status quo.
Yes.
If you see something that doesn't feel inclusive or empowering,
Yeah.
speak up.
Use your voice.
Yeah.
Advocate for change.
And finally, remember that finding your wedding dress is a journey,
Yes, it is.
not a destination.
It's going to have its ups and downs.
Yeah, there will be moments of doubt,
Yeah.
maybe even a few tears along the way.
But ultimately, it's about finding that dress that makes you feel like the best version of yourself.
Yes,
Yeah, a dress that reflects your unique style and personality.
I love it. And when you find that dress, all that stress and anxiety,
It melts away.
it melts
So
away.
you're left with pure joy
Yeah,
and excitement for the incredible day ahead.
I love it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of wedding dress sizing.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you learned something new and that you feel inspired and ready to take on your own dress shopping adventure
Have fun out there.
with confidence and a whole lot of style.